Alright, hey, what's up everyone? It's me, BaRKy, and I'm here with a mod for Rimworld 1.0, which is called Grim Reality. So I have got footage of the mod up here on the channel, on the screen right now, but I cannot actually show you the full effects of the mod, because what this mod does is it changes a whole lot of the buffs and debuffs you get for certain mood events happening. So although I would love to show you every single one, the list is incredibly vast, so vast in fact that it takes up several pages of my screen if I were to put them all into place. But yeah, it changes everything regarding your mood. So for example, it changes how much of a buff you get from marrying people, or how much of a debuff you get for when they die, and stuff like that. I will read the description of the mod because I think that would be the best way to put it. Unfortunately, this video will not really show exactly what it does, but I do want to make the video about the mod so you guys can actually go ahead and get it, because it makes a lot of sense when you actually play with it, which I played with it for a little bit. So I'll read the entire description to you. If you don't want to listen to that, you can just read the description, go check out the mod on the Steam Workshop yourself, and take a look at all those details. There is a Dropbox link in the description below that Rainbow Flambe provided, which shows you the entire change list, and trust me when I say it is vast. I think it changes every single mood buff, I think. From what I can see, it changes a lot of stuff. Anyways, so let me go ahead and read this. Okay, so what does this mod do? Rimworld is a tough, brutal game where a colony of people are doing whatever it takes to survive. Yeah, it's rough and sometimes it sucks, but at the end of the day there are two kinds of people: survivors and hats. This mod completely overhauls the mood and opinion effects to bring the mindsets of the colonists more in line with the idea of a grim reality where survival is valued above comfort. Kill or be killed, eat or be eaten, hat or be hatted. So there we go. So I think that gives you a gist of what this mod does, but he did give a few examples here which I can go through. So example number 1, cheating on someone gets you disliked by -70 by the person. So if you go ahead into social over here, you can see what people think about you. If you were, let's say Gunny was dating Daedalus, these are my Patreon supporters by the way, so sorry guys, but if Gunny was dating Daedalus and he cheated on Daedalus with BaRKy, that would net him a dislike of 70, which is huge. If you take a look at this, plus 37, that's Crash Together plus 25, which is one of the better ones. Deep Talk times 3, which is 11, and then Chit Chat plus 1. And you can take a look at their social over here, 10, 14, 10, and 6. Okay, so I'm the dumbest one in the group when it comes to chatting to people. It sounds like me in real life. But you can sort of see they're all reasonably high level except for myself. Which is just, yeah, so that shows you -70, that's huge. And then he says, by contrast, selling someone's loved ones to pirates gets you disliked by -10. So if Daedalus were to sell his beautiful boyfriend, Gunny, to pirates, it would get him a dislike of 10. Let's take a look at that again. That would be -10 for selling that person. Selling someone to a slaver, basically, who can use them for free organs. Okay, and then example number 2. Getting married gives you a 50 points mood boost, but your wife getting shot only gives you a -25. So this means if someone shot your wife at your wedding, you'd get a net gain in happiness instead of, you know, the most tragic backstory ever, which makes sense. So if you were having a wedding right here, Daedalus got married to Sol, it was very beautiful, and then a pirate came in and shot Sol, Daedalus would only have a net sadness, a net happiness of 25. He'd still be relatively happy he got married, which I think everyone can agree that makes 0 sense whatsoever. Okay, and then example number 3. If you sleep in the cold, lack a table, ooh, that is the worst thing you can do in Rimworld, lack a table, and get hungry, not starving, just hungry, you get enough net mood loss to be worse than your best friend dying. Example number 4. Executing a guy who came into the colony and murdered literally your entire family will still make you sad that he is executed. What, Tynan? Oh man, people used to go to executions as entertainment, and I'm just reading this straight from the description. It's actually really well written. He goes on to say the worst one, this is him as in Shay Foxy, it might be a woman. Sorry if I got that wrong. Romance rebuffs. I mean, everyone on the internet is a dude, right? So romance rebuffs. I don't even have to explain this one. If you've played, you hate them. So romance rebuffs, if you don't know what that means, it means that if someone sort of is like, hey, you're cute, and they try to hit it off, and that doesn't happen, the debuff they get is pretty freaking massive. And it lasts like 3 days, if I remember correctly, which is just insane. I mean, I can imagine being turned off by you know, someone rejecting you, but yeah. So the mod maker goes on to say, I've overhauled the entire mood and opinion system to balance all thoughts and situations better. The guiding design principle in this mod is largely based on the clannish nature of humans, which fits from tribals who've literally lived in tribes to advanced peoples who have crashed down from the stars and now find themselves stuck in it together. The fact is that people tend to form up into groups, and killing, hurting, or harvesting my person is worse than killing, hurting, or harvesting that guy who tried to kill my own person. This is something I've spoken about in streams a lot, in that it doesn't really make sense the debuff you get regarding that, because a raider can come in and kill your entire colony. But if you take him prisoner, harvest an organ, or kill him or something, you get a massive debuff, as well as having someone try to kill your entire family anyways. So that makes sense. You no longer hate ugly pawns beyond all reason. Thank goodness, that would really work well for me in real life, I think. And then he goes on to say some of the annoying mood debuffs are either lessened, shortened, or both, but the bad ones are worse than they usually are. So this changes the balance of the game a bit. I also lowered some of the easy positive boosts to compensate. Additionally, barracks are now usable. Pawns will no longer prefer to sleep outside in the cold over sharing a nice bedroom. Thank goodness. The military does it, boarding schools do that. I used to live in a boarding school. Maybe I would have preferred to sleep outside in the cold, I don't know. Siblings, hotels and trips. Entire cultures do it for life with their whole family in one room house. And that used to be the case, especially in South Africa. People used to live in one gigantic room. Maybe even a small room. People still do that a lot. They definitely prefer that to sleeping outside, so I agree with the mod maker. Having others close might even offer some comfort when you're scared a cougar may come and eat your face in the night. Please, cougars, reach out to me if you have a lot of money. Pawns are now bothered by horrific things and less by the little stuff. Cannibals are harder because generally most cultures find cannibals horrific. It's relatively true. Organ harvesting, killing prisoners, etc. still give a malice, but in most cases it's a Boolean value, as in everyone gets a negative for a while if you're selling prisoners to slavers, but it doesn't stack and it's not huge. So you can cope without having to wait until the wedding to butcher your prisoners. Your pawn who butchers enemies is no longer hated by everyone because the penalty no longer stacks to the sky. On the other hand, I butchered human-like does stack and it's bad. So if he butchers a human, it's pretty terrible. I think it takes a lot of guts to actually, you know, chop up a human being, but yeah. So I'd advise using a null trait character for the job, bloodlust, cannibal, psychopath, or be prepared to suffer the consequences if you still choose to engage in this behavior that would rightly, truly unsettle someone who lacked such traits. Overall, it may be simpler to keep your colony from descending into a stupid spiral of stupid over minor annoyances, and more likely to spiral over the source of horrors that would reasonably drive a colony to its limits. So that's really interesting. So as I said about the mod, is it's not meant to balance the game, it's just meant to make it make a bit more sense, I guess. And I really enjoy this sort of thing. I've often thought things are really weird, especially the lack of table debuff. I think it's like, it's crazy, but I also think you're crazy for not having a table, dude. So personally, I find this leads to a much more meaningful story. Don't get me wrong, I cherish my first game that ended in a massacre of my colonists by way of man-hunting deer, lovingly dubbed Deer Murdered, in my heart and memory. And all the fun I've encountered when my pyro went on a Bernie streak because someone sat in his chair and the cute girl in maintenance shot him down again, even though he asked her 3 times 2 hours apart. Yeah, that's my tactic. Persistence is key, dude. And he got too tired to walk to the table and eat, so he had to snack on his apple while standing up, and he couldn't even... And that's the fun part of Rimworld in a way, which it is. I don't know if I'd use this if you just started out, but anyways, that is the description of the mod. It is really cool. It is a very cool mod. As I said, I put a Dropbox link in the bottom provided by Rainbow Flambe, who is not the mod maker. He just had a link to it. He must have gone ahead and checked out everything it does. But still very useful. I love this mod. It does add a lot to the story. I can tell it immediately because colonists won't just break down randomly over the dumbest shit, like seeing this random turkey thing. Just chilling. Look at you, ugly. Sorry, that was rude. Sorry. But anyways, that is the mod. I'm sorry that I can't show it in detail, as I'm sure you're all aware it is incredibly hard to actually show these sorts of things in details without setting up every single event separately, especially when a lot of them require different social aspects to it, such as liking someone or disliking them. But I think this is good enough for you to go ahead and try out the mod or take a look at the changes yourself. Enjoy it. If you do use this mod, please tell me what you think in the comments, and if you have another mod you'd like me to showcase, because I was sent this mod by a subscriber, on the Discord menu, on the Discord page, whatever, Discord server. Please leave the mod in the comments. I will take a look to them. You don't have to leave a link, just tell me the name of the mod on the Steam Workshop and I'll go ahead and take a look at it. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it a ton as usual. You guys are great. The channel's gotten a bit of a boost recently. I don't know why. Have no idea why. But yeah, so thank you guys. It's been an awesome few weeks. Anyways, have a fantastic day. Again, I will see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye. Hey, thank you very much for making it to the end of the video. It's really, really awesome of you. I've got a Discord server that's free for all to join if you'd like to come and have a chat with me or anyone else. And I've also opened up a Patreon page to help fund my videos. So if any of those interest you, please go ahead and take a look at the description. Have a great day, and thank you very much for watching.